More than 6 or 7 episodes ago, we are able to actually complete the view a blog post test, but we've been doing a little bit of refactoring, making our tests better, making our controllers and doing all of that stuff, and we haven't created a new feature. So we're going to create a new feature and move on with our application. The next feature we're going to be taking care of is viewing all blog posts for application. So PHP artisan, make test, view all blog post test. So we have our feature test, clean up the boilerplate, set up our test, public function, test, can view all blog posts, and we have a little bit of steps to take care of. So first of all, our arrange step, our action, and then our assert. So what are we going to be doing in our arrange step? We're going to be creating posts, and we'll create more than one. And for our action step, we're going to be visiting a particular route, and we'll make sure in our assert step that we view all of those posts on that page, okay, the routes that we visit in our action step. So first of all, let's create some posts. Post 1 is going to be factory, and we'll call the create method on the post class. Sure enough, we need to import this. Let's just import it, user post right here. Okay, so that's our arrange step, but we said we want to create more, right? So let's just create a second post. And sure enough, the factory method actually takes in the number of posts we want to generate, but then we want to also assert using this data, so we're going to separate them into 2 separate posts. So on our act step, we're just going to say response equals this get post, and this is the endpoint where we're going to be displaying all the posts to our user. And then for our assert step, assert that the response was actually successful. So assert status of 200, and then assert also that we see that data on the page. So assert see, and what we're going to be seeing, post 1 title and the post 2 title also. What about the content of the post? We're going to be asserting that we actually have part of the content of the post on the page. So we're going to be saying assert C string limit, which is a Laravel method, and we're going to be passing in the post body right there. Okay, so we're going to be also doing that for post 2 because we don't want to display all the post data on the page, right? So we just want to assert that the user can see the first 100 characters, which is the default value for this method, on the page. So we assert that the status is 200, assert we see the title, assert we see the title of the second post, assert that we see part of the body of the first, part of the body of the second, and we can also assert that we see the date, but we're just gonna skip on that. Okay, so we have our test set. Let's give it a group. So group is gonna be post. Let's run that in our terminal, and we'll pass in a group of posts. And we have this error, no such table post. Let's just go ahead and use database migration so it migrates to our database for us. Run our test again, and we have expected 200 but received 404. Remember, in our handler we disabled throwing the exception, but then it's okay. Now we know what this error means. It's a not found HTTP exception. So let's head over to our web.php and create that endpoint. So route /posts, and rather than passing in a closure, I'm just going to pass in the controller that we want to use to add the method that we want to use. So show all posts is the method that I want to use. Let's run that, and received 500. Okay, actually working without the exception is not really helpful because we're just receiving the HTTP response that Laravel provides in the render method. So I've removed it. Now I have the exception is being thrown for us. Let's run that, and now we have a more helpful method show all post does not exist. Let's head over to our post controller and create that method, public function show all posts. Run our test again. Failed asserting, and an empty string contains the title right here. So we just need to return something, right? So we are trying to return all the posts from our database. So let's simply return a view, which is the post .blade.php and with post, and we'll just say post all. Let's run that. And we have this error saying the view post has not been found. Let's head over to our resources directory, views, and create a new post.blade.php. Run our test again, and we have field asserting that empty contains this. So we still have nothing in this view. Now we want to display all of the posts, right? So we're going to use a for each loop, and we're going to say for each post as post, and for each we just echo out the post title. Let's run again, and then we have field asserting that this contains this, and these 3 dots here actually tell us that that's the Laravel string limit function that is working, which means we have to echo out the content right here. So we're just gonna say post body, and we're gonna wrap this in our string limit function. Let's run that again, and right now we have a successful test. Now we can actually display all the posts that we have in our database in a view. You can obviously go ahead and actually edit this so we have something prettier, but I'm just gonna leave this on to you. And make sure if you're refactoring to a more beautiful view, just like we did in the about.blade.php, you make sure everything in your test suite passes. So finally, let's run everything in our test to make sure everything is working. And we have this error saying page not found in the test views of 404 page when post is not found. And obviously that's because in our handler, we still have this on. Let's run our test again, and we have a successful test suite.